As you guys see in the title, today we're going to be putting in a reverse camera in the Evo 10. This is only going to cost you about $20 to $30 in total, and this is going to hook up just like an OEM one would to the regular OEM touchscreen. All right, so now we are in my car, which already has it done. I've had it done for a couple years actually. I've done it on another friend's, but finally we get to film it today and show you exactly how to do it. So for example here, I'm gonna flip you guys around. As you can see, I turned this thing over. This is just an OEM regular Mitsubishi touchscreen right here, not navigation or anything. Reach down, throw it in reverse, and you immediately get your reverse camera just like normal. You got your lines and everything. Very, very helpful. Really simple to do. $20, $30 out the door. We're gonna go ahead and wait for our homie to show up, and we will go ahead and show you plug and play, step by step, how to get this thing going. In the meantime now, let's go ahead and get a cold start going. Alright guys, per normal, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this video really quick. There's a link in the description in the bottom and at the very end of how to take off your back bumper. But let's fast forward this thing so we get right into the project. You how to mount the camera on there in a second and snake the cord all the way to the front on the head unit. First things first though, you're going to need to get your camera source. So these are bought on eBay. These are the cheap little $10, $15 cameras. There's multiple different ones. No specific one you need to get, but I do suggest getting one that has a little drop down like this. You want the drop down, that way it has plenty of clearance in the vision of the bumper, because if you get one that's nice and tucked up, it will actually, the bumper will actually be seen. So you grab that. As you can see, you get little bolts here too. I do the lock washers, and that way they, you'll see in a second, it's a lot easier using those. And I get extra washers because we'll actually be leveling this down a little bit even further than that gap hang down is already, and that way we clear the bumper nice and simple. You'll have your two cords. You do have your you have your power source over here, your red one, and then you'll have your, this is the one for the video. So we'll be doing this video one all the way to the front. I'll show you how to do that. We will be splicing into that though and using our regular sourced out 18 gauge wire. So we did get the red and the black to find nice and easy when we're running it through. We'll bring that to the front, connect that to the back of the head unit. Go ahead and grab yourself some zip ties, some strippers, some dikes, all that good stuff, and let's get straight into this. All right, so first things first, we will get to the hardest part of the project, in my opinion, is actually mounting this camera up. So again, this camera will be mounting up right under here, and we'll do a couple spacers to go down. There's a couple holes in top though, so what we'll do is do two little baby drill holes right here, and that way we can put our bolts up in there, mounting that with some spacers again to kind of get it pushed down. So you're gonna go ahead and take down your lights right here, which is take two Phillips screws, and that way you can get your hand back there with the lock washers to tighten those down. Not only that, but you're gonna need some access because that wire that comes off the camera is gonna run right up under here. Now, if you drop back down under here, there's gonna be, as you can see, some like light shining through. There's multiple spots under there. You're gonna be able to squeeze the wire through there. We're gonna zip tie it to make it nice and tight along this edge here. We'll be able to go ahead and push it past this little thing right here and get it into the trunk. And I'll show you how to connect that in 1 second, but let's go ahead and get to the drilling. Okay, now with these lights dropped out, as you just saw me do here, you're going to go ahead and mount your camera up. As you saw, I did just run the wire as I was explaining through the top over here, which we'll tighten down here in a second. Let's go ahead and figure out how much slack we need though. So go ahead and take your camera and mount it up just right here, dead center in between these lights, and make two little dot marks, and then let's go ahead and drill some holes for it. All right, so dropping down, we did mark this off and do our 2 little drill marks to mount this thing up here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your first little bolt here, and you're gonna go ahead and put 1 washer on there to be on the other side. And then all of the other washers. Now, I did get, let's see here, 7 other washers to try to hold it down. Whoa, dude, those just shot all over the place. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get 1 washer on the one side like this, and then do your 6 other washers on the other side. So 1 on this side, 6 on the other side. Gonna go ahead and put that right through there. Now what you're gonna do is, I did get the lock washer nut, and that way, because you're putting it on the back side here, so it's gonna be a bit of a pain to get to if you want to afterwards, or if it loosens up. We're gonna go ahead and put that right through the back side here with a little wrench, and you'll see us crank this down. Alright, so camera is now nice and mounted up here. I'll kind of tuck that up in a second, but as you can see, I put the screws back in here. It just runs up right here, through a zip tie right here. And I already took some tape, and again, like I was explaining, I just put those together and put some tape on there so they can't get pulled apart as we're messing with this. Then you're going to take your 2 cords. Now, as you notice, I did already cut both of these and splice the edges because we're going to be running those to something different. But you're going to take these, and you can be able to just push this thing just in like that, and you're going to be able to shimmy those through. Jump into your trunk, though, after. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get to it now. And you're just going to take off this little bottom tray, which has 2 little bolts right here. Take off your little back tray, which has 4 little clips. And take out the carpet right here, as you'll see me do in a second. And we'll have full access to hook this thing up. Since we are going to be jumping into some wiring, I'm going to go ahead and loosen up that 10. We're going to go ahead and disconnect that. That way we're not running into any shortages. Alright, so wire ran through here, just as I was explaining, right through that little gasket piece right here. And then we're going to have our 2 cords here. So first things first is this is going to be the yellow one. So the yellow one connected, I've already kind of spliced the edges up here. I'm going to be putting an extension on that in a second, and we're going to run that down there, which I'll show you down through the panels into the back of the head unit. But not to get ahead of ourselves, this one is going to be your red cord. As you can see, I've already extended it a little bit. When I spliced this up, it was just the red and black, just like you have. I extended it because you're going to be bringing it all the way up to here, which is your stock plug. To explain this nice and simple, basically I'm going to be taking these little quick splice things, and I'm going to be connecting the red one right here to this white cord. So red one to the white one, and your black cord will go to the black one. So pretty simple, black to black, red to the white, and that white one is actually your reverse lights. So your reverse lights get power whenever you put it in reverse to this cord. So by doing this, that way your camera is never getting power otherwise, and that way you're not going to burn out the camera of any issues with it. So you put it in reverse, it instantly gives it power and it kicks on. So let's go ahead and set you guys down. I'll go ahead and connect these really quick, and then we'll put an extension on the other one to run the the video to the back of the head unit. And there you guys can see, we got it all spliced up with the quick splices. Here's your video cable now, which we'll be taking and running all the way up to the front. Right through there, we'll be able to take it. So go ahead and take your 2 reels of extra wiring, your red and black, and throw them up in your front seat like this. You want to work backwards, and that way you're not taking a bunch of slack and trying to shimmy it all the way down as you're hiding it. So just come back here. This is the ends, as you can see. We're going to be shoving that right through there. So what we're going to do is pull up this panel right here. This panel goes right here. So that's going to open it up. Now you see these little clips, nice and simple. You go ahead and just pull it up, real easy. Now, after pulling this up from there, you're going to take these and you're going to have a little opening down here. I like to take an extension, like a long extension, and zip tie it to there, and that way you can shove it right through. But let me go ahead and show you by example what I'm talking about. All right, just like that. Now, as you can see, we push that through. We got it all tied up over here. This is the video cable, the loose ends here. So I went ahead and spliced those off already. I'm just going to be taking those with the new ones. And after checking those out, I'm going to be just connecting them. And you can connect them all different types of ways. You can twist them together. You can solder them together however you want. But do what you please and go ahead and tie them up all nice and clean. All right, as you can see, I did hook those up, zip tied it all up. You don't even see the wires because they're nice and clean now. Jumping back over to here, remember you just did run your cords out from coming over here, so you're just gonna run down here. I put a zip tie here to hold it nice and tight. You're gonna run that down along this way. You're gonna take a panel out in the front, but this panel you actually keep. You're able to take the red and black cord and you're able to just shimmy it under with your hand like that. As you can see in the front area, I did the same thing. I just shimmied it down under this, and then you're able to pull up and get it right back on line. And then I'm gonna run this one under these all along the way, and I'll pop off this panel and we'll go up there, across the dash, behind it, and we'll connect it up. All right guys, so here are the cords right here. All right, hold up. All right guys, here are the wires. As you did see, we already ran these down the side over here. So now you're gonna be taking off panels. So jump into the panels right here. You're gonna be go ahead and taking off your screw right here, and a little tiny bolt right here, so you can go ahead and pop this corner off, and then you're able to pull this down the sides here, and you'll see this comes right off. All right, so we pulled our panels off from over there. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump over here so we can pull this head unit and get behind it. So you're very simple. You're just gonna go ahead and drop this down. You do have like this little shock over here. You're just gonna reach your hand in there and pop that off. It'll just go in by itself. And then you just squeeze in this corner here and you squeeze in the corner over here. And this will just drop straight down. All the way down. It'll pop right off like that. All right, so now that it's all popped off over here, it's gonna be exposing this screw right here. So you're just gonna take your Phillips head and you'll go ahead and take off this little screw right here. All right, and you'll be able to pull this panel right off. So you can grab on the bottom. Boom. As you can see, it pops right off. Super simple. Just those two little white clips holding it in. And what that's gonna do is expose this one up here. So you've just taken your Phillips off of that. You're gonna take your Phillips off of this one in the corner here. What that's going to do is now release this. Now these does have little clips all the way down this, and this is plastic. So what you're going to want to do is grab this by hand right here and maybe down here, so to give an even pull across it. And you're just going to work from this corner over here, pulling this off. I'm going to set the camera down while I do it so I don't snap it. But you're going to go ahead and, like I said, evenly pull this as elongated as possible, and this will come straight off. Now you saw it pops off nice and easy. Now you're going to go ahead and you have 3 Phillips right here holding where the... And then you'll be able to pull this thing right out. Disconnecting the back, which the button's on the bottom. As you saw I struggled, that button is on the bottom. You'll be able to pull this right off. And now this dash piece right here, again, just like the strip that went across here, this just has some white clips behind it. So go ahead and grab the bottom on one corner, try not to cracking it. Again, this is all plastic. After you do that, super easy, you're gonna expose the last 4, and then you can pull this head unit right out. So there's gonna be 1 in the corner here, and then 2 up on the very top, and then go ahead and pull this right out, and we'll disconnect the back, and we'll run the cables up there to connect them. Now you're able to go ahead and just pull this head unit right out like I said. You're gonna reach back and disconnect all of these. You're gonna have your radio and your 2 plugs, and then we'll run the cord through and I'll show you how to connect to the reverse camera. All right, so the panels were taken off. We ran the red and blacks up here under the dash right here, and then right through there's a nice little hole right there, and it pops up, and as you can see, the wires are right here for us. So what I'm gonna do is strip these down in a second, and I'm gonna go ahead and take these and twist them up as skinny as possible, because you're gonna reach back, and these are the 3 clips that come from the stock head unit. These 2 right here plug into the stock head unit normally. You also have your radio right here, and this 3rd little gray plug is actually tied up to this blue piece of tape right here because it's not being used. This is a stock plug that is for the reverse camera naturally. That's why this is nice and easy and works so perfectly, is because in the back of this, as you can see the diagram right here, there are going to be 2 plugs right there for the camera, because there's an option to do a reverse camera. If you've seen them on the Lancers or the Evos, they're dead ugly. They sit right in the center of the trunk back there, and they're really big and bulky. That being said, you buy these little cheap eBay cameras, nice and easy, nice sleek, hidden. You're gonna go ahead and take your 2 cords, twist those up, Now, I have not found the prongs that go into here, or the little things that go in there and clip in. I tried to buy a couple different style ones, different sizes. I could not figure it out. But if you just take these, strip them, twist them really, really skinny, and you're just gonna put it all the way through it, it should actually show a little bit on the other side, and plug into the back of the head unit, you should have a signal, no problem, and we'll be in it. All right, and before I connect them, just to double check and show you here, number 3 is gonna have your negative cable, and number 7 will have your positive. So you see the positive on the bottom one, second in and bottom, and then you see your negative on the top, second in, which those are 3 and 7, just like the diagram showed earlier. We'll go ahead and now plug this all back in and try to see if we got a reverse camera. All right, and as you guys can see, I kind of just shoved the towel in here to hold it in place because I haven't put any of the screws back in. Don't put anything back together, word of advice, just to make sure that you have everything properly done. We've not put the bumper back on, any of the side pieces, nothing like that. You definitely want to make sure your product is good to go and you have a super solid connection. Again, that is a stock plug for a camera in the back, but since we are doing a little jerry rig to get it put in, test your product first, man. So a little word of advice as well, just to make sure you get a good solid connection. What I like to do on any of the reverse cameras I do is I try to get a couple of the strands on those wires to kind of show through the other side. If you get a couple to show through the other side, not only can you like push them over so it kind of holds it in place, but then you're guaranteed that you know that there's going to be a solid connection on there. So that's what we did. I'm pretty confident that we're going to get a good signal here, but let's go ahead and see the moment of truth here. And again, this is a stock style unit, so we should be able to just throw this thing in reverse, wait for the camera. Boom, and there it is. Kids, check your surroundings, bro, because we got a reverse camera going down. All right, and that is that. As you guys can see, everything's still apart. We're gonna put all that dash back together, throw the bumper back on, get all these panels back in one spot, and then we'll jump down and we will adjust this reverse camera one more time, just doing the little up and down, because as you know, there's a little bars right here that show up on the dash now for it, so that way you can have a proper adjustment for backing up. All right, guys, now to jump to just putting the panels back on. I won't keep you for that, but that is your OEM dash with a reverse camera for less than $30. I hope you guys did get excited about this video and you want to do it yourself. It works no problem. I've done this on 3 cars already, all successfully. So tackle the project, man. Alright guys, and that concludes another episode here on the channel. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Super cool video today. I mean, OEM Touch Dash screen here with a stock setup style reverse camera. Only cost you 20-30 bucks. Super simple to do, as you can see. Plug and play, no problem. Spend the half the day doing it. Enjoy the rest of your life. Hope you guys did enjoy this video today. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next video.